All right, so it's about the time of year where I start rolling out, kind of those staple videos. All right, and up first we have the very best not in my opinion. I have been told, all right, that I smell sexy wearing these fragrances. It's a sexy fragrance. It's a attractive fragrance. All right, so today we got the eight of my most or the most sexiest fragrances in my collection for 2025. It could have been 10, but I wanted to make this some more of a elite list, kind of takeaway too, give you 8. All right, but if you want a part 2, I did have some ones that I was kind of should this be here or should this be here? But I'm happy with this list and ready to talk about it. So here we are, the 8 sexiest fragrances in my collection, what I'm recommending for 2025. All right, let's tap in. YouTube, what's going on, YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and now I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so like I said in the intro, today we are talking about the sexy. All right, this is a sexy list. Again, these are the most sexiest fragrances in my collection that I'm recommending for 2025. And man, all 8 of these have this kind of magic spell about them. So let's go ahead and tap in. All right. Up first, I remember the very first time that I wore this fragrance. The conversations were happening quite often. The first time I wore it to work. The second time I wore it on a night out with my wife. And I was getting the same vibes, with, the good folks that I work with. And then my wife was a little bit more detailed with this fragrance. And it doesn't get a lot of conversation these days because the original is just, always the center of attention, and I get it. But this one, man, is really great. And I like it more than the previous flanker. From the house of Tom Ford, what am I talking about? We're talking about Noir Extreme Parfum. Noir Extreme Parfum. Man, take everything you love about Noir Extreme and amplify it here. You still get that coffee here, the sweet and spicy elements here. Very attractive, very sexy fragrance. This is a fragrance with intentions. The only time that I wear this these days is that type of vibe. If an intimate vibe, me and my wife are stepping out, if it's a kind of intimate setting, wherever we may be, this is a fragrance that will be chose or considered to be chose for that evening, man. And like I said, take everything that you love about the previous flanker, because you do have the Tom Ford Noir. Then you got Tom Ford Noir Extreme, and then you got Tom Ford Noir Extreme Parfum. All right, and this is what we got going. So excellent fragrance. I can smell it all day long. When designer fragrances were rolling out true originals, this line right here, Noir Extreme line, is fantastic. So definitely had to be on this list. From the house of Tom Ford, we're talking Noir Extreme, the Parfum. That gaudy gold bottle I actually like. Really, really dope. All right, up next, one of the more underrated fragrances from this house. Not a lot of conversation about it, but to me, this is kind of like top 3. Top 5 from the line. But this is one of the more sexier fragrances that I've smelled, period. From the house of Mind Games, we're talking Grandmaster. Grandmaster from the house of Mind Games. Not a lot of conversation about this fragrance, and I don't know why. This beautiful, beautiful, like roasted coffee blended with this sweet, slightly powdery rose. That's what you get here, man. It is silky smooth. It is creamy. It's like you're going to a coffee shop, and I'm talking about like an upscale, even bougie if you want to use a coffee shop, where they cut real roses and they put them on the center of a table, and you're getting a fine experience with some really roasted coffee. And they got the little fancy machines and all that. And you sit that coffee next to that fresh rose. That's what you're getting here. You can create that in your own home. I have. You can create that in your own home. Bought my wife some flowers once. Had a cup of coffee just chilling in the morning. and I was getting the aroma, and it did remind me of this. All right, so it does lean unisex, but fellas, I can't stress enough, a floral representation off of a man, like a man's man. You know, it's a masculinity. I'm telling you, ladies, they just feel a way about it. Including my wife, she feels a way about this fragrance. Very sexy, selective for me. I only wear this on date nights in the cooler months. I only wear this where it's that kind of vibe. And, you know, we're just kind of, you know, enjoying each other, you know, letting the night do what the night do. And this is the fragrance that can assist in that vibe. All right. So from the House of Mind Games, we're talking Grandmaster. Definitely had to be on this list. This is definitely all about the sexy for sure. For sure. All right. Up next, man, this is one of my favorite fragrances, period. But the more that I wore it, and the more that I wore it, and the more that I experienced it, it just kind of keeps raising its game, keep raising its level. And this is definitely one of the more sexier fragrances in my collection for sure. From the house of Givenchy. Oh man, I messed it up. But we're not restarting this video. From the house of Givenchy. We got Givenchy, gentlemen. Reserve Privé. Man. Arguably the best from the line. You get this whiskey and chestnut and vanilla. God, it's great. It's great. I remember at the time this came out, I ordered this from Givenchy and blind bought it and got it here. This stuff is fantastic. This speaks to like an anniversary dinner. Let's say it's anniversary time and you're going out for dinner. You're going to a nice steakhouse. Well, you know, moody lit restaurant. The drinks and the wine are just fantastic. The menu is top tier. You know that this restaurant has an elegant history. You know when you're going there, you know it's to celebrate something very monumental. And of course, if you're celebrating an anniversary, I'm sure the sexy is a part of that. I know for me and my wife it is, all right? But wearing a fragrance like this, let's say you want to wear a suit, but you're not necessarily wearing a tie. You know, you got your button down, but it's kind of open a little bit. Maybe you got a little jewelry on your chest. You know, you want that grown and sexy look. This is one of those fragrances, man, for sure. The sweet aspect of this complements very well with the boozy take from that whiskey. That chestnut is beautiful. The vanilla in here, the iris. I don't think iris is listed, but it is iris in this fragrance. That's kind of like the staple for this line. But this is just one of those ones that had to be here. First when I got it, it was super hype. I wanted it, you know, I was a fan of the line, but then as I wore it more, it rose up to number one. And then it really rolls up to be one of those sexy fragrances for those intimate settings, man. So this stuff is a real banger for sure from the house of Givenchy. We got Givenchy, gentlemen. Reserve Privé. Dope. All right. Up next, the very best amber fragrance that I have in my collection. This stuff is powerful. This stuff is interesting, and it is just a balmy amber with so much sex appeal. From the house of Royal Crown, we have Noir. Sometimes it'd be like from the house of Crown Royal. Man, just even off if I spray one spray, this is going to engulf this whole room, so I'm not going to do that. But just spraying it off the atomizer. This fragrance has so many notes to it. The amber, there's some tobacco, there's a little bit of oud in here, there's cardamom, there's different spices, just a ambery, spicy beauty. The crown for the top of this fragrance is very fitting. It definitely comes off like royalty, like legit king, queen type action, what you get here. And again, most of these fragrances I only wear in those type of date night, vacation, you know, type of scenarios, man. Intimate settings for sure. And this is one that it's, you know, it fights with being in my top 10. You know, when I just do my top 10 every single year, it always just kind of misses it. But what am I saying? It's right outside of my top 10 in my entire collection. I rarely speak about this fragrance because I don't wear it that often, because immediately when I got this fragrance, I was like, yo, there's something special about this. So it's a top shelf fragrance for me. So stepping out in the cooler months on a date night, you know, me and the wife, going out of town. You know, we love Savannah all times of year. This is a Savannah fragrance for sure to take. And it is awesome, man. It is just one of the more beautiful amber fragrances that I've ever gotten my nose on. Matter of fact, it's the best amber fragrance that I got my nose on. I know that's saying a lot to some of you out there who love some of the more popular ambers, but this doesn't get talked about really at all. And very expensive fragrance. Get you a sample, see for yourself. But the blend and the quality, second to none. From the house of Royal Crown. We're talking Noir. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful amber fragrance for sure. Up next, man, upon first sniff, it went to the sexy category. From the house of Initio, we're talking Paragon My Lord. I smelled this in the store, and as soon as I walked out the store, I was ordering it in the car for a more affordable price, for sure. And I got it still off Vimba for this fragrance for sure. Notes, you know, you got some bergamot, some lavender in here, some musk in here, but the star of the show is that Palo Santo and that plum, my lord. I'm a huge fan of plum. You can do plum in all different ways, but this here is just, it's almost like, I ain't gonna say to put you in a trance, but it just kind of holds your attention. At least for me, it does. I know there are clones of this fragrance in Paragon. I know there's some popular clones. And respectfully, like, it ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. All right, you know, it can get you in the vein, but it ain't gonna be what this is. All right, and I've smelled those clones, and they smell really, really good, and I do recommend them, especially for the price value of the experience that you can get. But I'm always gonna recommend checking out the OG, checking out the, you know, the originator of that profile, because it's always something more with that original fragrance. It gives you a little bit more. It gives you, especially on the quality. And if you care about that, me, I really, really care about that. So this is something that is spectacular. Very sexy. I like to wear this. And I remember me and my wife were just kind of out and about. It was, you know, it was a spring day. Yeah, during the spring. And we were just kind of out floating around. You know, the kids were with grandma. And we were floating around on a Saturday all day long, just kind of doing our thing. And she was just enjoying it. Just every time, pretty much all the time we were together on that day, I was told how good I smelled. She even like came up on my shirt and just kind of put her hand here and put her neck there and smelled, just said, smelling like really, really, really good. So my wife will let it be known, you know, what smells good and what smells really, really good. And that's what the compliment was with Paragon. It is absolutely sexy. Unisex for sure, but I love how that Palo Santo and that plum blend so beautifully here, man. The lavender in here is fantastic. It's kind of like a little bit of a spice kick to it from like a black pepper note, I believe. I'm not sure if musk is a note in here, but I kind of get like this clean, very soft, clean musk with this fragrance. Kind of like the musk that's in Musk Therapy. I kind of get that in here a little bit. But like I said, can't even remember if musk is an actual note. But anyway, as far as talking about the sexy, this is it. Had to be on this list. More for that day-to-day, casual, going out, brunch, lunch, you know, maybe doing a little shopping, just you and your partner, y'all just kind of really enjoying each other's time on a beautiful day when the sun's up. When the sun goes down, we have options for that, all right? But this one right here, and you can wear this when the sun goes down. I'm just saying, for me, I love it. On a beautiful day with a beautiful lady out just, you know, doing our thing, fantastic. Paragon from the house of Initio. This stuff is outstanding. Outstanding. All right. Up next, we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about this one. I've told y'all. My wife has told y'all. Shout out to my guy Tazo, the reviewer, for putting me on. This is my wife's favorite fragrance on me today. And it is absolutely a sexy citrus beauty from the house of Sospetto. We're talking Dolce Melodia. I've been calling it Melodia, a Melodia. Either way it goes. Perfect. Beautiful. This stuff is amazing. That juicy sweet pear. The vanilla in the base. It's great. It's just great. I've told the story before, out of town, celebrating our anniversary last summer. I wore this for the very first time, and my wife was getting ready up front in the hotel. I was in the back. The fragrance traveled all the way up there to her. She stopped what she was doing and wanted to know what this was and kept saying, wow, wow. Going out to dinner that night, the compliments kept coming. The waitress who was serving us that night and helping us out that night, she even complimented on it. My wife requested me to only wear this the entire time while we were on vacation. She didn't want me to wear nothing else, all right, because she loves this. For her birthday this past April, I wore this to a very nice dinner that I set up for her, and she just knew what it was off the rip. You know, this stuff is, to me, for that citrus, pear, vanilla, white floral combo here. It's one of the more sexier fragrances that you can just get your hands on. Unisex for sure, ladies, you could definitely tap into this. My wife hasn't worn this. She hasn't asked to wear it. She really likes it off of me. Requests me to wear it quite often, and I do. And this is going with me again when we go out of town to celebrate our anniversary in just a little while. So y'all have heard me talk about this a lot from the house of Sospetto, Dolce Melodia. It's definitely for the sexy, and it is just an all-timer. This stuff is amazing. Great stuff. All right, 4 more left to discuss. This is another one that just gets a lot of attention. A lot of you in the community love it. I love it. You know, those who've been around me love it. It's just one of those ones, man. It just keeps its prestige. From the house of Kajal, we're talking Lamar. Lamar, that beautiful Gotti all gold bottle. This stuff is killer, man. Red berries, pineapple, saffron. The blend on this just is incredible. It's amazing. I remember smelling this for the very first time and just kind of just taken aback of how great it was. And immediately it screamed special occasion. It screamed intentions. It screamed with a purpose. Just smelling it, and that's what I do. I remember I had this about 2 years now. Got it during the spring, and literally every date night, me and my wife try to go do date night at least 2 to 3 times a month. And every date night for the spring, that's what, 2 months worth or 3 months worth? 2 or 3 months worth. I wore this fragrance every date night. And she had a different reaction each time. And I always found it funny until she really wanted to know what it was. And finding out about this, she requested for me to bring this last year on our trip. And this is the fragrance that I wore on our anniversary when we went to dinner that night. So fantastic fragrance on our anniversary night. Fantastic fragrance, very sexy. That pineapple, red berry, saffron combo here is just amazing. Beautiful blend. Kajal has some great fragrances, but I've smelled a few of them, but this is the best. This is the best from the house from what I've smelled thus far. I know there's many others out there, but this stuff is phenomenal. From the house of Kajal, we're talking about the very popular Lamar, at least in the community. This stuff is crazy good. All right. Up next, quite possibly the sexiest fragrance in my entire collection, because I love the note of honey, and the note of honey loves me. From the house of Zaharoff, we're talking Signature Aroma, My Lord. A very unique gourmand experience. God, just smelling it off the atomizer, you get this thick, rich, realistic honey. This nuttiness that's with it. You get this creaminess, this milky, creamy sensation with this fragrance. My God, it's like a actual, real, natural jar of honey. I've told the story before. My mother used to take me and my siblings to the farmer's market around the corner from where we lived when I grew up. And there was a honey lady in there. She had the actual raw honey, and she used to put them like on crackers and apples and like hand them out. And I just distinctively remembering that experience as soon as I smelled this. So it connected me to like a childhood memory. And it really, back then, it's still now, honey is just one of my favorite, things. I put honey in my oatmeal, on my apples. Like I love honey. And I love, even though I'm not the biggest gourmand fan, this fragrance right here is an absolute winner. My wife loves this off of me when we go out. I made the mistake of wearing this to work one day and I'm not joking, I was hounded with compliments and people wanting to know, what is this? What are you wearing? The main compliment I got was, your wife let you walk out of the house smelling like that? That was the main compliment. Did my wife let me walk out of the house smelling like this? This is one of the great fragrances from Zaharoff, but pound for pound, this could be the most sexy fragrance in my entire collection. Unique, not for everybody. If you don't like honey, probably ain't gonna like this, but this is sexy and dangerous from the house of Zaharoff. We're talking Signature Aurum. It's one of those ones, probably the dopest bottle from the Zaharoff collection in my opinion as well. The plate, the bee here, well done. All right, 2 more left to talk about. Fellas who are looking for more of a masculine push, here you go. From the house with Tom Ford, we're talking Tobacco Oud. Tobacco Oud, and I love this stuff. Dressing it up, all black, cold night, chilly day, all black. That's the only time I wear this. I'm in all black. Pants, jacket, pea coat, hoodie, cap, no cap, whatever. All black. That's what I'm wearing. A little smoke gray as well, because this stuff is spectacular. Beautiful oud in here, tobacco. There's a little bit of a whiskey pop to this fragrance. Oh, it's just spectacular. I think this one is getting kind of harder and harder to find, but this is fire. It is fire. It is sexiness in a bottle. Batman wore this fragrance. I know Batman been out for a long time, but Batman has this in his fragrance wardrobe. He does. That's what I think about. I like, what would Bruce Wayne wear? What would Bruce Wayne wear? Bruce Wayne would wear Tobacco Oud from Tom Ford. Sexy, mysterious, masculine. This smells of success. It's going to get you the right attention that you're looking for. Outstanding. Had to be on this list. From the house of Tom Ford, Tobacco Oud. Yes, sir. Outstanding. I can keep going on and on, but this video will be 40 minutes long, and we don't want that. And last but not least, arguably one of the very best vanillas, if not the best vanilla created of all time, from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. We're talking Baby Cat. Man, people love this stuff. I love Baby Cat, but I think Baby Cat has some contenders out there. Oh God, that spicy, smoky vanilla. Has some contenders out there, and we can talk about that another time. But women love Baby Cat. Baby Cat. That's what one of my partners describes it as. Hey D man, what you know about that Baby Cat? That's how he asked me. But anyway, this is spectacular. Shout out to the Bishop Jared Miller for gifting me this a while ago. I was so stunned when this came to my P.O. box. Shout out to the Bishop. But this right here, man, don't wear Baby Cat if you ain't got it on your mind. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about you coming with the romance. You coming with the special occasion vibes. You coming with that sexy. You coming with that just full on intent of creating a memory. You feel me? This is what this is all about, at least in my opinion. Beautiful, seductive. Stuff it's mesmerizing how great it is. It is one of those ones for sure. One of the very best vanillas of all time, if not the best. Very sexy stuff. Baby Cat from Yves Saint Laurent. Had to be here, right? That Baby Cat. For sure. Alright, so the video ran kind of long, but so what? I said it a while ago. I'm going to keep talking till I'm done. Alright, and I'm done. But these are the dopest, sexiest fragrances in my collection. These are the 8 that I'm considering when I'm stepping out, and it's that type of vibe. And not just any vibe, that type of vibe. Alright, we're in the evening now, but it's going into the night. It's a nice breeze out, there, brisk, nice, comfortable air out there. You're getting dressed up, your partner's getting dressed up, and the night is going to bring on some memories for sure. And that's what the sexy is all about to me. Your grown and sexy vibes. Grown and sexy. So drop down what your grown and sexy fragrances are in the comments if you're still watching. And I appreciate y'all, man, for just taking the time to rock out with your boy. All right, so until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. As always, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes. And remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you're going to get back. All right, till next time, baby, splack it up, splack it down, splack it that thing all around. Peace. It was something I was going to say, but it totally slipped my mind. Till next time. Spacker.